Hello, my bundles of joy. Welcome back to the channel. Today's reading, we're doing a reading of What Do They Think of Me? I wasn't intending to do so many piles, but here we are. Divine Source / Spirit really wanted to get a lot of different types of people for this message, and I would love to honor Divine Source Spirit by giving these messages to you. Yeah, okay, so before we get into it, please, this is going to be a very in-depth reading, so grab a drink of your choice. Today my drink is this guava shot spritzer. And when I say guava shot, I mean it is it's a leafy drink. If you are someone who partakes in hanging out with Mary Jane, you'll know the reference. Yeah, okay. So I will go through the in-depth parts of the reading within your reading. We're just gonna go straight to the pile selection and let you choose your pile. Okay, so this is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, this is pile 4, this is pile 5, and this is pile 6. Timestamps are linked down below as always, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, my beautiful pile number 1s. I hope you're doing well. Let me just fix this. There you go. Okay, sorry about that. So, I already have this spread out for you, but I want to just say hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I love you lots. Divine Source loves you lots. And I want to just remind you that this is a in-depth reading, so grab a seat or grab a drink, any drink of your choice, so you can get comfortable and situated and just hear what this person has to think about you. So how the reading's gonna go is that we're gonna do an energy check-in as always, and then we're gonna see who this person is in your life. Then we're gonna go through how they act, how they feel, and what they think about you, and then how their higher selves thinks of you. Yeah. I'll right off the bat, I do want to say your pile is a very special pile because this card, normally I usually take it out of the deck, but I forgot to for some reason today, and it popped up for your pile, and then I asked Spirit and Source, excuse me, if this was a card that was meant for you, and if I should reshuffle, and Spirit Source was like, yeah, no, this is a card meant for my pile 1. So it's very beautiful to see this card out, especially because Pamela Coleman Smith, I wish she got more credit in terms of her artistry and her artwork when it comes to being recognized for it. But you know, the girlies that get it, and the girlies that don't, so it's fine. Anyways, and maybe that's, interestingly enough, this is the card about how they feel about you. So they might feel like there is a level of recognition that you deserve. But anyways, so before we get into all that, we said everything we need to say, and let's do an energy check-in just to clarify if this is your reading or not. So you have the card Breeding Wellness. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. So right now, in terms of your energy check-in, it feels like you are restarting or just starting a period of really taking care of yourself and really honoring yourself. I'm taking to memories and images of my dear friend who has just broken up with her significant other because that person couldn't even take care of themselves. So it feels like you are no longer holding on to the burdens and the people in your life who have been kind of leaning on you for too much support, and you're letting go of the people who just take your energy away from you because you exude so much love and you exude so much joy and compassion that sometimes the people in your life would take advantage of it. But right now it feels like you are letting those people go, and you're recognizing the fact that you are someone who can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. And that metaphor is really saying, oh, you can show someone how they can love themselves, but if they don't love themselves, then that's their problem. And you're not taking the responsibility or the burden or any of the unnecessary stress that comes with caring for these other people in your life. So yeah, if that sounds like you, if you're going through like this new rebirth, and if you're going through a stage where you are greeting wellness by really honoring yourself and being true to yourself and letting go of relationships that do not benefit you, then this is your pile. Yeah, and you're really balancing out who you give your energy to, and you're no longer just giving it to others, you're giving it to yourself too. And now you have time for yourself to really focus on the things that you love and to focus on the things that you need to sustain a life of abundance and prosperity, whether that be through health, wealth, friendships, love. Like, you're only now attracting people that will resonate on your level, and you're really letting go of those who just took from you. Yeah, I'm hearing glow up. Like yeah, people are like thirsty after you, like, you know. And we love that for you. We love to see a royalty owning their power and owning their position of authority and owning the responsibilities of their life, and recognizing when it is okay to let go of those who no longer resonate with them. So good for you. Congratulations. I know it's really hard sometimes, especially letting go of people that are really important to you, but you did it. And now you're at a space of really this huge self-love, self-compassion, this reawakening to getting to be with yourself and getting to know yourself and take care of yourself without the stress and burdens of others. So that is your energy, my dear. Let's move on to who this person is in terms of what they think of you. So yeah, you have Moon in Taurus, self-esteem, personal growth. Interesting. I love this image. This image is a beautiful moon, but I love the pearls and the oyster. I think that's so lavish, so Taurus. So who this person is... Ooh, so it is someone who... And that's what we were getting in your energy, and I like how they were in your energy field too. It's the person that you recently let go. It's the person that was kind of like irritating you, because you know how pearls are made in terms of oysters need to be irritated like in a certain way so that pearls form, because pearls are really like this kind of like oyster booger. Sorry to be kind of like gross about it, but, or I guess not gross, but like, yeah, like health conscious about it. But yeah, oysters need irritation in order to produce these pearls that we find valuable and that we find very beautiful. But like the process of it becoming a pearl is quite stressful to the oyster, and that's how this person feels. It feels like they're a person who really prompted you into a place of personal growth and self-esteem, and they really took a toll on your emotional well-being while at the same time really strengthening that aspect. As much as they did take a toll, it was more like the stress and the burden of having to emotionally care and be there for them really prompted you to recognize and understand the value in yourself and the value of your emotional labor, because emotional labor is work, and so many people don't recognize it for what it is. And I think that that's going to tie into the next part of this reading, because I feel like this person is now recognizing how much effort and how much strength you had in this relationship in order for it to keep going. And it feels like this person is now recognizing how your work and your efforts really contributed to their well-being. And now that you're not in their life, or like are distancing or have like put boundaries up, but it really feels kind of like a separation, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, because 1 and 4 equals 5, which is the number of change. So this relationship has gone through drastic change, and for the better, for the growth of both of you. But this person is someone who really now recognizes your value and your worth and how much you've done for them. And yeah, I'm getting two types of relationships. So this was either a person that you were in a romantic connection with, or this is like a really close, like a close childhood friend, or a close friend that you've gotten to know like really well over the last like few months, you know, or even like a year or two. Like someone who has been a very integral part of your life, and someone who you can energetically feel quite a bit still. Yeah. Especially when you are in states of anxiety or states of stress. Sometimes you pick up on their anxiety and stress. Sorry, I'm just mixing my drink. But because I'm mixing my drink, it feels like you're like now really attuning to the fact that you don't want to mix your energies with it, and you really just want to take care of yourself and have them have their own time to just kind of take care of themselves and get to know themselves. And I think that's beautiful. So good job for you. Again, this person seems like they were important. So this either was a person that was like a really close friend, or a romantic connection that you let go. And for some of you, not all of you, it could have been a close family member, but like that's for like a few, very few number of you. Yeah. Okay, so now let's segue in terms of how they acted towards you. And this is the card of the 3 of Swords. So it really feels like two things here. Like, it was how they acted towards you was not someone who really reciprocated your energy. So in terms of how they acted towards you, their head would say one thing and then their heart would say another thing, and it was always in conflict. And it felt like how they acted towards you, including speech and including their communication style, wasn't how they truly felt towards you. Like, how they acted towards you was more of their deeper, unhealed, unknown aspects of themselves, the things that they were more subconscious and more unconsciously doing, and the traumas that they're unconsciously repeating. That's how they acted towards you. Like, because they didn't take care of themselves, and because they're still learning their own personal growth of self-love and self-esteem, they leaned on you for a lot of that support and a lot of that validation. So in terms of how they acted towards you, it wasn't of their higher self. It was very much of childhood wounds. And because you have such a healing energy, like, it felt like they really leaned on you for that kind of support, and it was really draining to you. And there could have been a lot of fights, there could have been a lot of emotional turmoil. They might have just like emotionally dumped a lot onto you. Like, they might have just always invaded your space when it came to emotional distress. They might have always made it feel like you have to take care of them in some aspect, whether that be through hygienic purposes, like telling them to brush their teeth or wash their hair. And it's not like I'm trying to shame this person, because this person seems like they were really going through it when it came to their mental health and their spiritual well-being. It seems like this person was going through something like depression, something like social anxiety, something like childhood traumas or PTSD, where they had a really hard time taking care of themselves. But in terms of how they acted towards you, it felt like they made you a caregiver in their life, and it felt like you had to parent them quite a lot. So they would act very childish, and they would, again, it wasn't how they felt though. So it was really hard for them, because they would act out their unconscious thoughts and feelings and unhealed traumas towards you, but they felt so different about it. They didn't necessarily want to be treating you this way. They wanted to treat you really well, and they probably expressed that. They probably expressed that they wanted to change. They probably expressed that they would do better. But in order for them to do that, they really have to make the conscious decisions of looking through their traumas and looking through their unhealed wounds, so that they can recognize when and where and how to take care of themselves. But unfortunately, it didn't feel like they didn't. I felt like you were very patient with them. Like, you gave them multiple chances when it came to changing, and when it came to really giving them compassion for what they were going through, but they didn't take the opportunity to work towards it. They didn't take the opportunities to really look at themselves and take the chance to self-reflect. It felt like they just buried themselves in distractions and buried themselves in the 3D way of thinking of being in survival mode, of being in stress, and being in a place of, oh my God, like, me. And like, it really felt like they couldn't reciprocate the healing, loving energy that you deserve. And it's not like Obviously, part of the responsibility is on them, but it was also part of their past that they still have to really reflect upon and look after. Whew. So that's how they acted towards you. In terms of how they felt, again, like we were saying earlier in the reading, and it really feels like they really want to let you know this part because although they might have said it, they didn't necessarily always act out this way. Like, they didn't necessarily always give you the recognition that you deserved. And they didn't really meet you halfway when it came to giving that emotional labor, giving that compassion and patience and kindness and holding space for you when you needed it. Like, it didn't feel like they were there for you that way. But in terms of how they felt, they're really disappointed in themselves in terms of how they couldn't express their feelings towards you. Yeah, and I'm looking at there was no memorial service to touch upon the impact her work would one day have upon her admirers. So she died disappointed that her paintings and writings failed to achieve success, that she never stopped believing in herself. So that's the thing. Like, your person still really loves you and really cares for you, but they're very disappointed in terms of how they treated you and how they couldn't express to you your work, and they couldn't express to you how much of an impact you had on them, and they really feel terrible for how they got in their own way when it came to this relationship. Whew. And I just saw 2020, so it's kind of like hindsight, and like now they're seeing things clearly when it comes to you, like the relationship you both shared and the impact that you had on them. It's only now that really, like, they're reflecting upon how they treated you, and it's because you're out of their life. That is why their hearts are really touched right now, and that they're really going through it. And that's probably why you're also feeling their energy so much, because they're thinking about all the times that they could have been there for you, and they're thinking about all the times where you were there for them and how they couldn't reciprocate that energy. And they're kind of still looking back and thinking about, like, I really messed things up, and I wish I could turn back the clock, and change things, but they know they can't. So there's always going to be a special place that they have in their heart for you. But again, they recognize that they didn't treat you the way you deserved, and they recognize the fact that they put you through a lot. Like, a lot. Yeah. And they recognize why you had to let them go. And they're really proud of the fact. They have a lot of respect for you because you took the time to really just be like, no, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing to not have you stress me out and burden me when I know you can do it on your own. And they really respect the fact that you trust them in terms of giving back their responsibility for them to care for themselves, and for you to pull away and have your energy for yourself, and for you having the responsibility to take care of yourself without the burdens of them. So they have a lot of admiration, and I'm really proud of you for that. But they're also very sorry still. And I'm seeing someone crying, so like this person may be like up crying about you, and if they have a hard time doing that. I'm also seeing someone like distracting themselves with a lot of video games or smoking or drinking or like partying, but it never really fulfilling them. Oof, my heart just cracked. My chest just cracked. So, yeah. It's a really heavy burden that they're carrying when it comes to self-reflection and how they know they messed up, and they probably know, if not consciously, subconsciously, that they let go of the best thing they had in their life. Oof. And they're thirsting after you, because I'm really thirsty after that. Okay. So, what does this person think of you? The whole reason why we're in this reading. So, what do they think of you? It's this King of Pentacles vibe. They see you as someone who's just very, very patient and emotionally has it together. And sometimes they think that you look down upon them and that you're mad at them for how they treated you, and they think that you're gonna have a very successful home life. And the fact that I said that way also seems like they think that you were like really good in the bedroom if you had romantic connections. And if not, they really think that you will have a very balanced home life, and that you take care of yourself really well. Like, you take care of your vessel really well. Like, you know how sometimes like people will compare themselves to homes, you know, like subconsciously, if you look at a house or if you're dreaming of a house, then that represents how you feel about yourself. Like, there are certain like communication hypnosis therapies where you can dive in and tap into your subconscious and be like, oh, like when let's do one now just for fun. Okay, so I want you to take 3 deep breaths. And if you can remember this. If you can't, take out a pen and paper, because we're just going to go through some fun hypnoses if you want to. If not, you can probably skip this. It's up to you. But I think it'd be a little fun. So, if you have your pen and paper, or if you can remember this, then let's go through a subconscious journey. Imagine that you are in a forest or in a natural space. I'm going to say forest. I like the forest. Let's do forest. So imagine that you're in the forest surrounded by a bunch of trees. You see the leaves and feel the wind, the warm wind of the summer on your skin. You hear the little branches every time you take a step in the forest. And you're meeting up with someone. So, who is that person? And that person's going to represent who, like, the most important person in your life right now. So, you and this person in the forest, you go out and you go through the trails and you want to go back home. So you and this person find that house, your home. What does this house look like? Is it big? Is it small? Is it cottage style? Is it postmodern cubed? Does it look like a beach home or a red brick or yellow brick home? Is it a castle or even a cute little hut? Is it cozy? Is it charming? Does the outside feel warm? Does it present you with sophistication? Whatever you feel about this home, whatever you look upon this home and think about this home, is how you think of your appearance. Now, I want you and this person to go inside into this house and walk into the kitchen and grab yourself a cup. What does this cup look like? Is it plastic? Is it glass? Is it a mason jar? Is it ceramic? And this is going to represent the level of relationship you and this person have. And if you picked glass, don't think that it is something that's so easy to break. No, it just means that you see this relationship clearly for what it is. And that's the strength of a relationship. Because a lot of people will probably choose glass and be like, oh my God, is this okay? And yeah, no, it's fine. You guys still have this, like, glass is used for a reason. It's very strong, you know? Anyways, so what does the inside look of this house of yours? Is it clean? Is it messy? Are the rooms in the right order? Does it look the way you want it to look? This part of your home describes your inner world and how you feel about your emotional states and your inner reflections and the things that most people don't get to see unless they're very close to you. Now I want you to put the glass down, say goodbye to whoever you were with, go out of the house through the door, and then back into the forest. I want you to sit in that forest, take another 3 deep breaths. And then come back home to your current reality, to where you are right now. And I want you to be able to look at your hands and feel whatever seat you're on and feel the clothes that you're wearing and look at your surroundings and really put yourself back into your current reality. Okay, yeah, sorry. So that is a mini version of hypnosis, kind of, like, or guided meditation, or it depends on how you really want to, like, look at it. Like, you can call it whatever you want. It's just kind of a practice in which to really get to know yourself and really get to understand yourself on a more subconscious, deeper level. And why I was saying that was because this person thinks of you as someone who is really connected to themselves, who has a really good understanding of themselves, and who can really grow and be accustomed to their own nature. So in terms of what they think of you, they think very highly of you. They, like, put you on a pedestal, and they really thirst after you, because I'm still very thirsty, even though I just took a sip of water. They see you as someone highly spiritual and emotionally developed, but and the foreground of who you are, it's someone who's very stable, someone who's very happy to those who you love, who's very compassionate, but who's very abundant too, because I can see so many grapes on the robe. Someone who's very royally abundant and who can really obtain material success, and who has not only an abundance of the material realm, but who has an abundance of who they are and their own spiritual development. So yeah, they see you as someone very rich in that way, not only of the material way, but of the soul. You have a rich soul, and you know how to wield it. You know how to really maneuver yourself in situations. You know how to really be holding a staff or a scepter to guide yourself and support yourself in the ways you need. But there's a really big emphasis on, they really think you look down on them. They really feel like you're mad at them, and that they put you on a really high pedestal because they think that you don't want them, that you're cooler than them, that you have more emotional maturity than them. And they like to think that you have this armor up when it comes to them. There's a lot of things that you haven't told them. On the outside, you come across as very warm, very nurturing, very abundant. But your inner world is something that you keep safeguarded when it comes to them. That's how they think of you. And it could be the fact that you've tried to let them into your inner world, but they haven't been able to really support you and hold space for you in that way. And they know it. Okay. Wow, this is going to take me 2 days. Yeah, I have limited time when it comes to me doing these readings, because my roommates come home and they're not spiritual people, so they don't really get it. So I have to stop. Anyways, sorry, that's not part of this reading. That's just extra bits of my life that I don't know if you really care about. Anyways, but yeah, they see you as someone, and they think of you as someone who's on the right path. They think of you as someone who's going to really be able to go the distance when it comes to relationships and when it comes to material success. So you're going to be very abundant. If you are not now, you will become very, very abundant. Although they already do think of you as someone who's abundant, it's they'll think they think you're going to come into more success, basically. Yeah, they just love your natural self. They think of your natural beauty as something so refreshing and golden and just very rare. Like a shimmering star. And I think of you as someone who, when you have the opportunity to, that you can be very free-spirited and be like a flower child and be someone who is very fun and lively and could have a bohemian kind of look about you. So you might like to go to festivals, you might like to dress in ways that are a lot more natural. And if not that, then you like to dress in very professional ways. So one of those two will resonate. Or you have just a very good style about you, and you know how to appropriately dress for the situation. If you're going to a business meeting, you're not going to wear bohemian chic. You will wear something very professional, very businesslike. But if you're going to go to a festival, you will go a little bit more festival vibes, yeah. But they think of you as a place of comfort and safety and a place of home, to be honest. And it's really sad. It makes them really sad because they know that they fucked up, and they know that you know that, and it's they stopped the growth that you guys could have had together. Okay, I want to get this last part of the reading done before my battery dies, and it's been signaling me that it will die for almost 10 minutes now. So let's move on to what their higher self thinks of you. And then you have beloved radical acceptance. So their higher self, true, and you also have the number 2. So this person really thinks of you as someone who is their counterpart. And oh man, there's just like all this fire in this heart. Their higher self really wants you to know that they love you so much. They have such a burning passion for you. You spark their fire, you light their heart up, you give them a reason to be better, and you are that light for them when it amidst the unknown darkness. You are that light that guides them and carries them and brings them to a sense of safety and warmth and life. And they love all of you unconditionally, all parts of you. And I feel like I'm gonna cry right now. So their higher self is just so torn up to not be with you, and so upset that their 3D self treated you this way. They know you deserve better. And there is such a radical acceptance of you. They love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. They really see the unity, the balance, and the harmony that you provided. And they're just so torn up and so upset over the fact that the 3D self couldn't treat you the way that you deserved. And they understand that you had to let them go, and they accept the fact that you had to leave their life, but that's not gonna put out the flame in their heart. You know? It's not gonna stop them from loving you. Even if you're not in their life, you will always hold a special place in their heart, and they will always feel a certain sense of connection when it comes to you. But they understand that they have a lot of lessons that their 3D self needs to learn. Their higher self knows that the 3D self has to graduate from the life lessons of school, of self-love, of self-acceptance, and of self-reflection, most importantly, in order for there to be some sort of relationship with you. And if not, they recognize that you are the reason that will prompt them into a being where they can love themselves for who they are. And they will always be indebted energetically to that when it comes to you and who you are in their life. Okay, anything else? Higher self. They're like, no. The flame's burnt out when it comes to the relationship, and they recognize that they fucked up. Especially their higher self. Their higher self is so mad at their 3D self, and so it's so distraught, but their higher self radically and unconditionally will always love you. But recognizes that it's just not supposed to be right now, if ever. And they recognize that you deserve someone who's able to love you and care for you and reciprocate the emotional labor, growth, and self-esteem that you exude. And if they're not the light in your life, they don't want to be an irritant. And they recognize that you are the reason that they have been able to grow and come to a place of understanding where they can be like a pearl. And then they can see their value in themselves. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have ever seen the value of themselves, especially when it comes to their heart space. And recognize the fact that self-love is so important and self-acceptance is so important. And how harmful the internet can be when it comes to that. Sorry, that just came because I kept looking at my malachite and I'm like, why am I looking at my malachite? But yeah, they recognize that you were such a refreshing joy and love in their life, and their higher self is just so distraught over the way their 3D self acted. So, yeah. So that is what I have for you, my beautiful soul, my pile number ones. I hope that this gave you clarity, peace, and a strength to move forward, and just relief from all this probably energetic connection and, you know, all this grieving period when it comes to this relationship. I hope it brought you just a change of pace. And keep doing you. Keep being your amazing self. Keep balancing yourself and giving yourself self-love and care and being gentle and just greeting yourself with all the smallness and putting yourself in the priority seat because you really deserve it. And I'm so proud of you. Source Divine is so proud of you. So yeah, I hope you are also proud of yourself. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening whenever you watch this. And I'm sending you so much love and so much support for you during this time. Take care. Hi, my pal number twos. I hope you're doing well. So today's reading, we're going to go through what do they think of you, and please grab a drink if you haven't already, or a snack, or just get yourself comfortable because it's going to be a long one. I'm trying to make this as short and concise as possible, but Divine Source Spirit was like, no, we're just gonna go in depth today. I was like, okay, I guess so. Yeah. So anyways, how this reading's gonna go is that we're gonna do an energy check-in to see what you're like right now and how you're feeling right now, and just something to kind of confirm whether this is your pile or not. And then we're going into who this person is in terms of the person that's what do they think of me. This is like the they. This is the person that is thinking about you. Sorry. And then we're gonna go into how they act towards you, how they feel towards you, and then the question of the reading, what they think of you. And then lastly, we're going to go into their higher self and what their higher self thinks of you. And yeah, you're the only pile, because I pre-shuffled all of this beforehand, that got 2 cards for the higher self. So this person's higher self really wants to say hi and let you know that they're there. Okay, so let's get into the reading. I have laid all the cards out for you because I just didn't want to go through the time it took for shuffling, because it usually takes me about 20 minutes off camera to shuffle. So this is going to be a long reading already. I didn't want to make it too much longer anyways. Okay, so energy check-in. You have embodying my soul. On the back of this, it is, I have a right to be excited. I think that's such a beautiful card. And so right now, when it comes to your own energy check-ins, you're really going through the details of yourself, and you're really going through each part of yourself and embracing and loving it for who it is and who you are. And you're someone who is really getting in touch to so much parts of yourself and really embodying the wholeness that is you. You're someone who is getting in touch with spirituality as well. So you're focused on not only like how the day-to-day, how the material, how the physical self looks like. You go beyond that, and you're someone who right now is basically having a spiritual awakening when it comes to understanding how the mind, body, soul works, and understanding how energy is when it comes to your thought forms, and you're understanding that everything is connected. So some of the thoughts that you have aren't yours, and some of the thoughts that you have will come from the people that do think about you. That's probably why you're on this reading. And you smart little cookie, yeah. You know, you're just someone who's really connected and tuned in to the astral realm, and the realm that is connected to every life form and every being, and who's really tuned into your own timeline when it comes to the people and the relationships that you're involved with, and the people you're personally connected to, or the people that you're connected to. But I guess this person really wants to like start. So this person might be on your mind a lot, and they might really hit you up in the astral realm. You probably think about this person a lot because they're thinking about you. But yeah, so in terms of your energy check-in, you are very excited, and you're at a stage of spiritual awakening where you're really understanding a lot of parts of yourself, and you're really understanding the connectedness that is not only of you, but of to other people and other realms. You know, you're recognizing that your thoughts can be from other places other than your own, and you're very excited about it. And I love that. Spirit Divine Source loves that. It loves that you're excited for this new journey and new chapter, and this part of you that's really diving deep into who you are and what your soul wants you to do this lifetime. Woo! Yeah. And there's a lot of green, and I just cracked my chest. So you're really coming into a heart space centered way of living where you're incorporating your passions, your loves, and your desires. And you're recognizing that the heart also holds information and messages just as much as the brain and the gut do, if not faster than both of them. There's a TED Talk on it where it goes on about how your heart picks up transmissions and energies faster than your brain or your gut does. If I can find it, I'll link it. If not, I'm pretty sure you can just type in like TED Talk heart information and it'll show up. But yeah, you seem like a very cerebral person. Like you're someone who has to like intellectualize something before you believe it. You're someone who has to like really like experience it in order to believe it. You have to like be connected to it in some way in the physical realm or the mental realm in order for you to process things. And I'm also the same way. So totally feel you on that. But yeah, that is your energy check-in. If this sounds like you and sounds like what you're going through right now, then this is your pile, and might be a very exciting time for you. Yeah. Okay. Take a little sip of my drink here. Okay. Let's get into who this person is in your life. You have Moon in Virgo, contentment, The chance to boost health and vitality leads to satisfaction. So this person is, I wanted to say commitment, but I don't know. It's someone that you might be very committed to, but it feels more like someone who works really hard when it comes to their health, who knows how to guide people and probably guides you through some of your more heart-based decisions. They're someone who can stand tall and stand strong in their decisions, and they just get a lot of emotional satisfaction when it comes to growth and self-development and the workings and inner knowledges of themselves. But they're also someone who likes to garden. That's what I'm getting. So they either actually physically garden, or there's someone who likes to grow themselves, who likes to constantly push themselves and understanding themselves, or constantly is on a journey to self-improvement. And as well as emotional improvement and emotional maturity, especially because when I see the moon in Virgo, I see a cleanup of emotional states and the inner world and understanding themselves on a deeper level like that. So when it comes to this person, they are someone who really values their emotional maturity and emotional growth and the labor that's needed in order to guide them through it. And they just get a lot of satisfaction when it comes to emotional health and being able to day to day put in the work so that they are secure with themselves. Like it could be a little obsessive over time. At times it can be like they have to have a routine in order for them to be emotionally stable, you know? Yeah. So they also might be very analytical when it comes to their emotions. They might have to process their emotions. They kind of feel like you in that sense, where you have to mentally go through it and understand it in order to process things on a deeper level. But yeah. Okay, so that is your person. I'm getting a friend vibe, so this probably feels like a friend. Close family member, not so much romantic vibes, but very much friend vibes, so yeah. And if it's a romantic thing, it's more of the beginning stages where you're just friends, or you're just getting to know each other on a friend level first, Yeah. So that's the person in your life that's thinking of you in this reading. And it seems like the most right now. So, okay. So how do they act towards you? You have the Four of Cups in the upright position. So it feels like how they act towards you is that they're refusing to really take your emotional labor. They're refusing to kind of see the bigger perspective that you offer them when it comes to their problems. They might be someone who you might give them really great advice. You might be someone who is really in tune of the larger perspective, but they're not someone who listens to them, to that. They just kind of want a yes person, you know? Like, you're someone who can be very emotionally supportive, but I think they're very intimidated when it comes to how your perspective is on life and how emotionally mature you already are, because they're someone who continually likes to like grow and self-develop, and they have this like security in their own like emotional well-being. It feels like you intimidate them, so that's why they act very like petty, very childish. Sometimes they just don't like, they refuse to take your advice. Sometimes they're just not like listening. They're just like looking at different emotional types of support than the ones that you're giving, which is kind of upsetting and very like frustrating. If I were you, I'd be I'm really mad. Like, I'm really protective. Excuse me. I'm really protective over my viewers, so it kind of is upsetting to hear that this person isn't taking your wonderful advice, because you're probably someone who gives really good advice or emotional support, you know? You're someone who's just really there for them and who can really help them, but it just feels like they're not like accepting it, and they act very childish and very petty towards it, and they're looking for other like people to just like confirm to them that they're right. And yeah, that's a little upsetting, you know? You have a very intellectual way of showing support as well. You really know how to analyze the situation for what it is, and the person's just really not taking the effort to see things from your perspective. Yeah. Feel very stubborn. They feel very stubborn. When it comes to like the more emotional aspects of your relationship. Yeah, okay, I want to pull one more card when it comes to how they act towards you. How does my pile two's person act towards them? Thank you. You have the Six of Wands in reverse. So we'll put it like, how do I want to do this? Okay, we'll do it like that, I guess. Or maybe we'll just push this a little to the side. Yeah, okay. So they have the Six of Wands in reverse. So like, it feels like the refusal to acknowledge that you're right. And if it feels like they go backwards when it comes to how they act towards you. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, if you tell them like, hey, I think it's best if you take more walks, because you've been telling me how much you've been feeling like mentally down, and you've been telling me how much like you're insecure about your body. I feel like it'd be great for you to take walks. They would be like, no, I'm just gonna sit in my house and distract myself and not take your advice and just continue to do what I want to do because I want to do it. Yeah, that's how they feel. They feel like someone who's very stubborn to really see your side, because they're so like intimidated, and they want to kind of be the best when it comes to their emotional health and spiritual well-being. They're someone who is a little proud when it comes to that, and they don't really like, I'm getting it's my way or the highway. So like they're just someone who's very much like in their ego in terms of how they act towards you. They're just like, you intimidate them so much that they act like weirdly like egoic and proud, and it's really cringe. Like I'm cringing right now because it's like they admire you so much but they can't like admit it to you, and so they act really weird. They act really like stubborn and immature, and yeah. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so how they feel about you is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So they feel like, yeah, okay, so the reverse of the Knight of Pentacles is this like type of carelessness, this inertia, this idleness, this stagnation, and this discouragement. And that's what I was picking up when it came to like how they acted towards you. So in terms of how they feel about you, it's like it's on par. Like they feel very discouraged when they're around you. They feel like they take you for granted. It feels like to me that they take you for granted, and they're very careless about this relationship. And they're someone who's like, again, very stubborn. Inertia is like coming to a standstill, you know? It's like not being able to like spiritually grow or evolve, which is so opposite to who they are as a person. And it really feels like you just kind of bring the shadow side of them out. Because I was touching this Fool's Embrace transmuting pain. It feels like you're someone who shines so brightly that it casts out their shadows, and they're like cockroaches running towards like the shadows and trying to like hide from your light because they can't take it. They want to be that. They want to be you. They want to be you, really. That's how they feel. They want to be this level of spiritual development. They want to be someone who's emotionally well developed as well, who's as mature, and who is as cerebral as you. Like they put you on a pedestal, but they like want to see you get knocked down, and that's really stressful, and it's really upsetting to hear, because you seem like a very lovely person, and you seem like someone who's just really trying to help, and who's really just trying to balance and show them like ways in which they can better themselves. And you're just trying to be like a supportive, caring person in this relationship with them. But it feels like on a deeper level, and we'll get into this later, but on a deeper level, they understand that. But like when it comes to their 3D self, they're not acting that way. They're really not putting in as much effort as they should. They're not really taking the time to really like put your words into actions and put your words into perspectives and giving you the recognition that you deserve when it comes to how much you help them. And it's a little different than pile one, because pile one had a very similar message, but this one is kind of like, oh, like this person isn't doing it because there's like a separation. This person's doing it out of ego, not out of heartbreak. They're doing it out of ego because they want to be the person who's like on the high horse, you know? They like, that's why you're kind of sent into this person's life, especially because they put themselves on such a high horse that they have to come down to the ground and be grounded on the earth and see them for who they are. I feel like there's this kind of like, egoic, I'm better than everyone, like feeling about them, and it really hinders your relationship with them, because all you're trying to do is just be a good friend, be a good support system, be there for them, and all they're really like acting and feeling is this type of jealousy, really, this type of like envy. Like they might even be sending you the evil eye, and that's why you feel their energy so much. It's because they want to be you. So my advice to you is to protect yourself quite heavily. Maybe if you can, distance yourself, but it's not for me to say. It's only if you want to, and if you can't, just like make sure that you're just not taking anything too much to heart when it comes to what they say, or if they're negative towards you. Especially, it's not because of you. Well, it is because of you, but it's only because they haven't healed parts of themselves. It's because you show them that you can live a life where you are authentically yourself, and you are just so effortlessly in alignment with who you are, that it really like triggers them to be like, oh my God, like I can grow more, like I'm not the best. Like there's this perfectionism about Virgos, and they get very self-inflicting and self-damaging. I take it from a Virgo sun myself, who's met other Virgo suns, and like, for example, like I was with my partner's family over the weekend, and I'm a Virgo sun, and my partner's mom is a Virgo sun, and she was telling us how a lot of her insecurities popped out because I was there, because she felt like she wasn't pretty enough, or wasn't skinny enough, or wasn't like spiritually developed as much. Like there was like this weird competition aspect that was going on between me and her, even though me, like you, didn't even ask for it, wasn't even trying to do that, was just trying to be my authentic, beautiful self, just like you are right now. You are just trying to be your authentic, beautiful self, and it feels like this person is just kind of like my partner's mom when it comes to just like not handling the insecurities of themselves in a reflective way, and making it a competition other than making it a lesson, and oddly enough, a way to grow and to emotionally mature. And it's just interesting. Yeah, so in terms of how they feel like you kind of rub them the wrong way, but only because they are someone who's very insecure, and who feels very jealous, and who feels very competitive when it comes to like being with you. I also had a friend who was like this. So like when you're this spiritually in tune and tapped in, people are just gonna like come for you. So just protect yourself and keep yourself sane by knowing that it's not your fault. It really isn't your fault for being so beautifully amazing. Just, like, don't take their energy on. And please, my dear, beautiful pile number 2s, just know that you're doing such a wonderful job being you, and you don't have to change for anyone. You can change if you want to change, obviously, and we're all changing all the time. But it's like, you don't have to dim your light down. You don't have to be someone who's like more quiet, or who doesn't speak as much, who doesn't show their talents, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Like I'm like this a lot, so I can resonate a lot, but like just know that you don't have to dim your light. You don't have to stop being you. You don't have to stop showing up because this person's jealous, and you can feel that really competitive, jealous energy on you because you feel stressed. Again, it might be best for you to distance your time with this person, or like, yeah, just kind of distance the relationship and just like frequently hang out with them, or infrequently hang out with them now, because you can kind of feel that jealousy. And like, yeah, I'm wishing you the best. I'm sending you so much protection from this evil eye right now, and I really hope this reading helps when it comes to confirm your intuition when it comes to this person. Okay, let's move on to the technically main portion of this reading. This is supposed to be like a... So we're gonna get into the meat part of this reading. The whole reason why we're here for the question of what do they think of you. So you have the 7 of Cups in reverse. So they think you are a person who's very much in their own, you're very well developed. You're someone who's you have your own signature, because this is the first time I'm noticing, but this signature is that in each and every card, this card, this card, this card, this card, this is probably Pamela Smith's signature when it comes to her artist work. And that's how they think of you. They think of you as like, you're very in tune to your own energy and your own personhood, and you have such an authenticity about yourself that you can make a signature about yourself. You have such a presence that you can really define who you are, and it makes them very insecure. Like, it makes them very insecure, especially when it comes to their physical features. You might be a very like effortlessly beautiful person. You might not think about that about yourself, like, but just know, like, this person thinks you're very beautiful, like very beautiful, and they have a hard time being themselves around you because they feel like you're such a decisive, mature energy, and it really makes them question themselves. It really makes them feel like sporadic, and it really like stresses them out. Like, it gives them the qualities and traits of an unhealed Virgo, like, and it hurts their pride quite a bit, because they've been working so hard in order to understand themselves and like emotionally become mature as a person. But like, when they see you, they're just like, holy, I have miles to go, like, for example, if you guys were in like a race together, like you'd be closer to the finish line than them, and they'd just be like, oh my gosh, this person, like, they're probably on steroids. Like, that's how they would think. They wouldn't be like, oh, you deserve it, you've worked your butt off, you're so like good for you. They wouldn't be supportive that way. They are someone who's like, oh, this person probably cheated their way. There's like this paranoia when it comes to you. Like, they can't accept the fact that you're naturally and effortlessly this way, because it just hurts their pride and ego so much. And it hurts them because it's like, oh, like, why can't I be this way? Like, they're that jealous. Like, there's such a jealous energy, this evil eye upon you in this reading, because this person is just like, is just really sending it that way. And it's, again, I'm sending you so much protection right now, and I'm sending you so much healing energy, and I'm really glad that you're embodying your soul right now, because you don't need me to do this. You don't need me to send protection. You're already heavily protected on your own, and you already have the discernment skills to recognize that these feelings aren't yours. But this is just like a confirmation tool for you to be like, oh yeah, okay, great, okay, so I was right. So my intuition has led me to understand and believe that this person isn't great for me. And yeah, that is it. Yeah. this is what this reading is for you. This person is a snake in your life. I'm sorry to say, but like, yeah. They're here to like watch your downfalls, and they're really not here to support your victories. They're here to like they want to, like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a part of them that like wants to, but like their 3D egoic self is getting way too much involved in the situation, and it's taking the driver's seat, and it's ruining the relationship. Because, you know, like, if they listen to their higher self a little bit more, then they wouldn't feel so bad about themselves when it comes to you. But yeah, they're not. They're being very stubborn when it comes to that. Okay, so what else? Just one more card. Oh wow, that was fast. Okay, so you have the 7 of Swords in reverse. It's interesting, you have 2 7s. They feel like they can get away with treating you poorly. And they think you're just someone who will like just take their shit and like won't fight back when it comes to like mean comments or anything like that. And like, it's not that you're not, like, you're a really nice person, you know, like, you're someone who's super kind-hearted and super, like, emotionally evolved, that but, like, the thing is that people mistaken your kindness as a form of weakness. Like, this person is mistaking your kindness as a form of weakness and not recognizing that, like, you are heavily protected. So like, if they come at you, you will slap back. You will come back at them 10 times harder, and you will defend yourself. And it might be that this person is in like a higher position of authority, or someone that you just don't want to like upset. But like, they take that for like a reason to be emotionally manipulative, and they try to prop themselves up by tearing you down. Like, they can only find like satisfaction in themselves by tarnishing your character. And like, they're just very emotionally underdeveloped and spiritually underdeveloped, and they don't like to like think of themselves out in comparison to you. Like, in comparison to most people out there, they're like top 10%, but you're like top 1%, you know. And like, they haven't met anyone like you, so it really threatens them. And like, they just don't believe that someone like you can exist. Like, someone as kind-hearted and beautiful and successful and just so amazingly in tune with the present moment and with spirit source divine. They don't believe that someone like you can exist, and they try to tear down any way they can when it comes to you. And if you ever try to help them out, they're just like threatened by it, and they just feel like you're trying to like one up them, you know. Like, you might be there just genuinely trying to help them, just like being like, oh hey, can I take a load off and like help them like just clean up after themselves. But then they might take it as, oh, why is this person like cleaning up after me? Do they not think that I can do it? Like, you know, it's this energy of like, any help you give them, they'll just take it the wrong way, and they'll take it negatively, and they will assume the worst, because they themselves aren't authentic and true, and they will do things not for the right reasons. They will do things they will do things from their vanity, and because it looks good to others, or that's like the societal moral way of what's good. But they won't truly like do it because out of the kindness of their own heart. So that's why they're so like, they're just so threatened by you. I'm not gonna lie, they're so threatened by your authenticity and your generosity and your kindness and your connection to source, that they think of you as someone who's like someone on a pedestal that they want to knock down. And it's just like, bruh, are you okay? like this person really needs to take a nice spa day to themselves and like give themselves love, because I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty volatile. They're not sending out good vibes, and I'm so sorry about that. Like, and again, this is only confirmation for you. This is only like just know you're really heavily protected by the spirits that you work with and the deities and the universe itself. You know, this person can't ever harm you. You know, you're too strong for that. You're too connected to that. You have too much discernment and cleverness to you to ever let that happen. Okay, so let's move on, because we're almost at the 40-minute mark, to what their higher self thinks of you. You have in the hand, the universe is your partner, as well as Fool's embrace, transmuting pain. So as I was saying earlier, and you have 2-2 here. So as I was saying earlier, you're someone who really reflects back to them, and weirdly enough gives them the stability in themselves. It's kind of weird. It's like a dual-edged sword. So you are like a mirror to them, and you are good for them. You're like the good medicine that they need, because they've been wanting this kind of self-development and growth and health satisfaction, you know, but they haven't really been doing the work that they thought they needed to do, you know. Like, they seemed very much like grounded and stable, but they didn't recognize that there's so much more layers that they need to go through in order to be healed. And you mirror to them all the things that they want to really uncover and unpack and heal, but they're really not like treating you kindly because of that. Their higher self, what their higher self thinks of you is someone who is medicine, who is put in their life like on purpose to show them more guidance, to show them that it's okay to cry, to show them like this vulnerability about themselves. But like, again, their egoic self really wants to come out. Their 3D self wants to come out and be like, no, I'm not taking any of their advice because I think I'm better than everyone. And it's like, their higher self is basically like urging their 3D self to be like, bruh, this is what you wanted. You wanted this emotional like chance to develop, and you're not taking it. And like, it's just really frustrating for their higher self to see their 3D self be like this, because they recognize, their higher self recognizes that you're in their life for this reason. You're in their life to really mirror to them all the pains that they haven't addressed, and you're here for them to really go through the process of healing, of transmuting their pain, of being able to cry and being very emotionally vulnerable with themselves. But they're not, their 3D self is really not letting them do that. Their higher self really recognizes how connected you are to the universe and how connected you are to spirit, source, divine, whatever you want to identify with or believe in. And they recognize that you have so much deity energy about you because of that connection. But yeah, their higher self knows you trigger them so fast, so easily, but that you need to trigger them. You need to be there for them to understand all and reflect a lot of the insecurities and a lot of the unhealed jealousy and traumas that they've neglected. Yeah. So this person might be like a frenemy, you know what I mean? Like, I was getting friend vibes at first, or like close family members, or like if it's a romantic connection, like someone like in the beginning stages. But like, it feels like frenemy vibes because they can still be like one of the three that I mentioned, but like it's like you were put in their life to really mirror to them like a lot of their unhealed shit and a lot of the things that they need to heal in order to like come to this emotional maturity. And like, you give them a reason to really become a better self if only their 3D self would just listen to you and give you credit for it and give you the recognition that you deserve. Like, this person's 3D self is so fucking stubborn when it comes to that. And all three of these people are looking backwards and looking the wrong way when it comes to like developing themselves. And that is this person. This person's not looking the right way. This person's just like not doing the best when it comes to this. So we are gonna end the reading there. Thank you so much, my bundle of joy, my beautiful soul, for being your best self and for being such a kind-hearted, loving, generous, compassionate human being. And I'm so sorry that this person is sending you the evil eye. Just know that you're heavily protected and that I'm sending you so much protection and strength and divine source energy, universal energy to have you be yourself, your beautiful, authentic self, really. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hi, my number. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Hi, my number pile. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi, my pile number 3s. Wow. That was so hard for me to say and get out. I think it's because of the amount of energies that are coming at you and the people who are really attuning to your energy right now, because that really doesn't happen to me often. So yeah, okay, so today's reading is about what do they think of you, and your pile is the only pile to get 2 different people show up equally in your energy fields. So there's a couple of people in your life right now that are really heavily thinking of you. So you are quite the catch, my pile number 3s. A lot of these people are very thirsty over you because I grabbed my drink. And they might have a hard time talking to you too, so that's probably why you're here. let me do a rundown of how this reading is going to work before we get into it. So first, we're going to look at your energy and do an energy check-in and see if that resonates. If that resonates, amazing. Continue with this reading. If not, you might want to choose a different pile, or this reading might not be for you today. Then we're going to go into who these people are. We're going to first do this person, and then we're going to do this person. And then we're going to see how they act towards you, how they feel towards you, and what they think about you. Last but not least, we're going to go into how and what does their higher self think of you. And yeah, that's the reading today. As you can see, I have your spread all laid out, and I think it just makes the reading go by faster. So after all that rundown, let's get into it. It's already been like 2 minutes. Let's just do it. I love how similar these cards look. So I think that's very indicative of who these people are in your life. They are very similar people. It feels like one is your partner, like your romantic partner, and then the other, or like a familial family member. Yeah, it's either, because 4 also represents the home, and Cancer is all about the home, and there's a literal home, and it says home. So it's either someone you live with. It's either like gonna be your partner or your family. And then the other one is like your work relationships, because it really feels more like a work energy, like a teamwork, collaborative work environment. I wanted to say work husband / wife / person. So this person is just very prominent in your workplace, especially when it comes to like you and your relationship with them. Okay, but before we do and get into them, which is interesting, I think they really dominate your energy. So like your focus is really with these people. Like, as I said earlier, the way this reading was supposed to go about was that we were going to do an energy check-in of you first and then your people. But I was immediately drawn to the people, and I was immediately drawn to the similarities of the cards, and I wanted to talk about that. So it feels like you are someone who's very involved with their relationships and the outside world, and you take a lot of pride and you take a lot of joy in the relationships you have with others and also in your workplace. So in terms of energy check-in, who you are, you have rewriting the subconscious. I was going to say rewiring, and it just couldn't come out. And so it feels like that's how it is with your subconscious right now. It is something that's continuously changing, especially, and sometimes it can be a little frustrating. Sometimes it doesn't come out the right way, but it comes out the way it's needed to be. And there's just a lot of reprogramming when it comes to who you are as an individual and how you feel about yourself, especially. There's a lot more unity, a lot more engagement when it comes to being able to release things. Because I was drawn to this, and this is so weird, but this kind of looks like a particular body part on your behinds, and It just made me think of releasing. That's how I got it. Really weird way. But like, anyways, messages come out the way they are. And I think you're really getting into the symbolism of your dreams and the symbolism of your life and understanding how you can take the messages that the universe gives you through those weird interpretations and symbologies. You might be someone who likes to research and read Carl Jung or any kind of psychology that deals with the subconscious. Okay. The back of hat you have, the more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. So when it comes to rewiring your subconscious, you're rewiring it in a way where you're giving yourself a lot more validation. You're giving yourself a lot more perspective when it comes to the experiences you have. You're seeing the bad experience you have as life lessons, and you are basically rewiring it so that good things happen. Like, even if it's a really like annoying aspect in your life, you're like, oh well, at least it shows me this, at least I can heal this. Like, for example, let's say like a person's treating you kind of like in a petty way, you'd be like, oh well, at least they're like showing me how kind of an individual I am and how much I'm not like them. Hi, cutie. Hi, Tinkerbella. Sorry, my cat just walked in the room. Just like to say hi to her. Yeah. Hi. Oh, wow. So cute. No, you're frustrated. And then, yeah, so it could be because she comes at interesting times and she wants a lot of my attention. So it feels like the people in your life really want your attention because you provide them with such comfort, with such nourishment, with such emotional stability and support that you have them purring, basically. You have them feeling really good and really at home and really loved. Yeah, you just provide them with a lot of attention and the comfort and support. And sometimes it feels like you're just like on this balancing act when it comes to your home life and your work life. When it comes to you and your energy check-in, you are someone who's very involved with your home life and your career life, and sometimes it can get into a balancing act when it comes to handling both. But regardless, you're taking the situation and you're recognizing the lessons that it needs to be in your life, as well as how you are validating yourself when it comes to all the work that you do, and you're putting yourself in positions of authority as well as in positions of self-love, where you're finally understanding and accepting that you are doing a lot for a lot of people and you are giving a lot of your energy to a lot of people, so you deserve the recognition and the praise and the love that you exude. So if that sounds like you, if you're a really busy person who's really there for others and changing the way they think about themselves, then this is your reading. Yeah. Okay, as I said earlier, these people in your life, we're gonna start off with this person. So this person in your life is someone at your workplace. It is someone you consider to be like your work wife, your work husband, your work partner, business partner, someone who's just really there for you emotionally and materially, and who really helps you when it comes to your work, and who gives you a helping hand and is really there to provide a stable teamwork to your everyday job. And if you're someone who works from home or your domestic work, it can also be your partner. It can be like your spouse, your significant other, just someone who's there who really helps when it comes to splitting the load and who is really great at communicating with you and collaborating with you to get stuff done. Yeah. They seem very, very fiery, but like in a passionate sense, because it's eclipsed in Aries, it feels like there's such a contained passion that they exude. Like they give you so much motivation when it comes to your work life. So that is this person. Let us check in terms of how they act towards you. So you have death in reverse. Death is usually about endings. And to be honest, because it's reverse, I got more of the fact that it's like, oh, you give them life. You also reciprocate the energy of giving them motivation to continue on at the workplace. You are someone who really enlivens them when it comes to being able to trudge through work together and get through it together. And during times of when it can be like really hard, like when you just kind of want to sleep, or you just kind of want to stop doing work, or you just want to like quit, it feels like you're really there for that person so that they make the right decisions and they are able to get the job done. That's how they act towards you. So they are someone who's very motivating and a bright sunlight, and someone who can really like just relieve you from stress when you're really stressed out by work. Like someone who cares about you a lot and wants to see you happy, and they want to see you get through the workday and your work stuff with joy, and they want to be your support system when it comes to that. And it might be through little things. They might buy you a little treat when you're like working too hard and they see that you haven't eaten all day. They might help you with lending you supplies. They might just kind of like ease your stress by like poking you, or just like giving you a high five, or like just telling you that you're doing a great job. Like this person is someone who's very motivating and who acts very supportive, especially when it comes to your work environment. And again, if this isn't also a work environment situation, this could be someone from your school. If you're not working and you're at school, this is someone at your school who's like helping you carry your books, or who's sitting next to you in class making sure you don't fall asleep, or who's picking you up to go to school every day. There's someone who really motivates you at this place of work for you, whether that be an actual job, wherever, even if like wherever that job is, if it's at home, or if it's in a building or outside, or if it's like school, which is an actual job too, depending on what age you're at. So yeah, this person is just someone that really cares about you and is a really good friend to you and really helps you get through the day. And that's how they act towards you. What do they feel? Yeah, I was getting that. Okay, it feels kind of like they have there's some kind of mental blockage. There's some sort of, it kind of feels like they have a crush on you, but they're not supposed to, It feels like they like you, but they know you have a family, so they're just like, oh, I'm not gonna ever show them that. I'm never gonna show them that kind of experience. I'm never gonna show them that that I like them. They will never find out that I have feelings for them. I am going to keep it hidden into myself, and I'm never going to let them know because it would be very inappropriate if I did let them know. Yeah. And it feels like whenever they feel guilty for having these feelings for you because they recognize this other person in your life and they know this other person in your life, like, for example, if you have a good friend at school but you're dating someone from another school or dating someone else, like, they know about your significant other. Or if you're at a workplace and you talk about your husband or wife or significant other or partner or lifelong partner, and like, they know about this person. I just want to make that clear. They know that you have a really rich home life and they don't want to mess that up for you. So they're really just someone who's just keeping it under wraps and who's trying to show you support in the friendliest of manners without crossing a line. Damn. That's an energy to be in. And it's, sorry, I'm getting very nostalgic because I've been in this energy and it's like, sometimes I'm still in this energy. Yeah, so it's like, I feel for you right now. I feel for you and I feel for this person because it's hard. It's hard when you like someone and you want the best for them, but like, telling them your feelings isn't what the best thing is. That's hard. Anyways, what do they think of you? They have the Ace of Swords. You have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So it's like they really want to open this new line of communication. When they think of you, they really want to express to you and tell you how they feel and how much you've impacted their lives and how much you made them spiritually grow, but they can't, and they feel blocked because they can't start this new beginning with you because they can't tell you how they feel. They think about you and they think about all the things that they kind of like daydream about if they could tell you what they want to tell you. And they think about you in a very high light. They think about you in a very... They have a crush on you. Like, that's what they think. They think about a lot of the scenarios that they could be in with you if it wasn't... If you didn't have someone else, and if you were willing to like just be with them. Yeah. And sometimes it makes them sad when they think about you because they wish they could have you, but they can't. And it might put a damper to their mood sometimes because they really do care for you and they do have strong feelings for you, but they care so much about you. They don't want to ruin your life or what you have with this other person because you speak so fondly of them to this person. So yeah, it feels like they know they can't provide you with the same fruitfulness that this person can. So they just kind of like shut up and they live in their daydreams when it comes to you and their thoughts of you. And you're just kind of like this golden leaf for them. You are someone who just represents just so much abundance and success, and like they want to be in your life. They wish they were this person. That's the thing. They wish they were this person in your life. But because they're not, they are just someone who's very supportive and who can be there for you when they can, and who can be just a friend to lean on for support. Oh man. Yeah. So that is what this person thinks of you, and I'm already getting stressed. So this person like gets stressed a bit when they think about you because they get upset and they don't want to recognize their feelings, and they just want relief from this burning itch that they have inside of them when it comes to you. Because, like, they want to just tell you and they want to express to you and they want to know how you feel about them. But it just can't be that way. Yeah. They're really thirsty over you. They're thirsting over you. Yeah, they really like you. They have a huge crush on you. And what does their higher self think of you? Well, you have the dances on one foot. Balancing act. Sorry, I couldn't say that right. But yeah, their higher self is really balancing how they treat you and making sure that they treat you with respect and that they are showing you that they care about you and that they value you as a person, but they're not doing it so much so that you think that they like you or that they even love you. Like, I have to be very careful with my words there because there's a part of them that is very careful around you when it comes to their communication styles, and they don't want you to know at all that they have feelings for you, which is I'm so sorry that I'm telling you this way if you don't already know. I'm sorry for taking the cat out of the bag there, but that's just coming through this reading so hard that they don't want you to know. They don't want to screw things over. They don't want you to have a complicated life because of them, because they care about you so much. That's why they might act weirdly. They might hide their jealousy. They might hide their anger. They might pull away at times because sometimes it's really hard for them to hear about this other person in your life. And all they really want to do right now is just be a supportive person when it comes to your workplace or your school life and help you get abundance and joy and satisfaction in that area of your life. So they're really balancing their higher self, especially. It feels like their higher self and their egoic self are working well together. Like, you know, they're someone who doesn't have to claim that they're spiritual, but they're naturally in tune with their higher self. So that's why they act a lot like how their higher self feels. They are balancing quite a bit with you. When it comes to their 3D selves, it's like their higher self has the driver's seat and their egoic self is on the passenger seat, and it's really just watching how like it wants to play out, because they are very responsible, and they, again, all that really wants to come out of my mouth is that they care so much about you. They do deeply have feelings for you, but they don't want to express it, and they want to only show you in appropriate ways that won't jeopardize what you have at home. But they do also want it to end sometimes because it's painful. They just want to come out and say all of it and just not have to deal with the feelings that they're feeling when it comes to you. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to this other person in your life. So as I was saying earlier, this other person is someone who you live with, whether that be your family member, your significant other, lifelong partner, or your roommates. But in conjunction with this, the story really kind of feels like this is your partner. It doesn't like because it's home and love, it really feels like your partner. Like, fourth house is the home, and this is a general reading, so like, you know, like, take it as you will, but I'm getting very much a story here. I'm getting a very specific story. So I do want to keep it more specific. So if this doesn't resonate when it comes to this being someone at your workplace that has a crush on you, or that you can kind of already feel likes you, and you having to but you having to be in a relationship already, then this isn't your pile. And I'm so sorry that I wasted your time, because it's been like half an hour of me just talking about this. But just know that we're just trying to get in deep and to get you some relief from all this mess that you're going on here, because it's a lot to deal with. And that's why your energy is probably very much focused on the outside of yourself, and it's probably why you are rewriting and rewiring your subconscious to be a lot more kinder to yourself, because you're probably getting so much like dualistic energies thrown at you. Anyways, so this person is most likely your partner, and your romantic partner specifically, and you most likely love with them. And there's a lot of love and a lot of passion, and there's a lot of home vibes. So like there's a lot of comforting and serene peace when it comes to this person. And this person is someone in your life that wants to build a home with you, who wants to build a stable future with you, and who wants to focus on their life with you. Yeah. 4 is the number of stability and home and, just familial ties and ancestry. So there's someone from your past life as well who's come back in this life to really be here as a support. If you believe in those stuff, by the way. But yeah. Okay. So let's go to how they act towards you. You have the world. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I don't know where it cut off, but there's probably just going to be a picture when it comes to where it cut off, because my camera has a 20-minute time limit, and I just kept going at it. I didn't recognize that it was like 30 minutes into the reading, so I'm sorry in terms of where it cut off, but I'll keep the audio and I'll just have a photo of what that is. Anyways, you already saw it. You already went past it, so let's just move on to it. So in terms of how this person acts towards you, you have the world. So you are their world. They treat you like they should treat you. They treat you really well. They treat you kindly. They treat you with respect and with love and compassion. And there's this red string of fate that you both have tied together, whether that be symbolically through actually getting married or just energetically by having those cords connected. There's this side of you that they will forever love, and it's a timeless love, to be honest. Like, they will be protective towards you. They will keep you yourself. They will always let you have your freedom, and they will always let you have your mental satisfaction when you're with them. You'll always be able to be in charge and protected, and you'll always have this freedom with them. How they act towards you is that they really are a good partner to you. They are someone who will always cast a signature on you. There's like a marking that you two share, like a branding that you two share together, and it's always going to be intertwined. They help you grow. They've helped you seen your evolution from a caterpillar to a butterfly. They really helped you evolve in a beautiful, glorious way. Because it's hard for butterflies to become butterflies. They have to have the right conditions and they have to be in a safe environment in order to do so. And this person, they are that environment towards you. They are protective, strong, but still not possessive. They're very freeing and they give you a lot of autonomy when it comes to you being yourself, you know? Wow, that sounds like a really lovely person. You have two people here that really care and really love you and really just show you the utmost respect. Like, woo, woo. Okay. So how do they feel towards you? You have the Knight of Cups, and I think that's beautiful because there's this forever young love that they always want to profess to you, and they will always have this puppy love for you. They will always just have this flowing, stable, emotional support for you, and they will always face the trials and tribulations of life with you. They will always be your knight in shining armor when you need them, but they will also be your horse that will support you when you want to be the knight in shining armor, you know? Like, they will always be a freeing angel. They really are a protective angel when it comes to your life. And I can't highlight that enough. Like like I'm drawn to. I didn't even recognize that the Nine of Cups has angel feet and angel wings on its armor until today, and it's just highlighting to me that the tarot, A, is super cool and you're always learning, but B, that this person is very much an angel in your life who's protecting you so heavily right now, and they are the one for you. You know, they love you so much. Like, there's just so much passion and so much strength there. But there's also, they can sense that there's this other person in your life too. So there's a little bit of a frustration there that they can sense. They want to be your all. They want to be your everything. They want to be yours and only yours, and they want you and only you, and it's they want to remain your signature. They want to remain like the person in your life that is yours. And yeah, what do they think of you right now? You have the Queen of Cups in reverse. I feel like right now they think you're not being emotionally open to them. There's a sense that like you might be hiding something from them. They think that, again, you're beautiful and that you are a figure in their life that will always be such a queen, but they're scared and they just want to protect you. Like, you are their angel in their life as well. But yeah, but they're just kind of scared that your heart's not with them a little bit. They're a little scared that you're using them sometimes. And this is just kind of more in terms of their insecurities and stuff, you know, like they just really, they also seem so like someone who's very emotionally in tune with who they are, but they're a little anxious when it comes to this other person in your life, you know? but they do think of you really highly and really fondly, and they do think of a lot of the relationship that you both have built and the protectiveness that they have towards it. Okay. Last but not least, what does their higher self think of you? And you have benefactor, grace, and generosity. And look how cute these two mice are, just enjoying themselves and loving themselves and being happy. You are they just, in terms of their higher self, like, this is the one. This is you. This is your twin flame. This is your divine counterpart. This is your soulmate. This is the person. That is what your higher self thinks when it comes to you. And even on a soul level, even on a higher self level, this person is just like so happy and so joyful to be with you and to be in a relationship with you and to share the blooming and blossoming love that you both have, the joyful, compassionate, sweet love that is just so rare. You both have taught each other so many things of stability and support, as well as self-love. Like, there's a freedom in this relationship that's unconditional, you know? Like, you both can be yourselves authentically, fully together, but still share in each other's energies and still be very supportive and loving and graceful to one another. And there's just like this highness, this elevation, this like otherworldly plainness when it comes to the relationship that you both share. Like, they love you a lot. Their higher selves loves you so immensely, and like, they just want to be your king, you know, or they just want you to be their king. And there's just a magical love that's just so divine with this person. This is your home. This is your past life. You've had many lifetimes together. You've at least had one together. And that one was very significant in terms of the love and bond that you share, and your souls are intertwined forever. You are their muse, basically. You're their reason to be better. You are someone that gives them life. You are someone that has shown them a better way to live. And they don't want to lose it at all. Their higher self just really wants to love you and support you and show you how much they care about you. And again, wants to protect you. And wants to give you so much joy and freedom and comfort. And wants to give you a sense of peace and relaxation. They just want to be yours. And it's super cute. The last messages I have for you is just to be yourself and recognize where you are in these relationships, because it's going to be an interesting one, my dear. I know you're going to be very you, and you're rewiring your life so that you are kind to yourself and you can see the beauty and grace and glory that you are, that these two people in your life see in you. And I know you are rewiring so that you don't feel guilty, because we live in a monogamous world, and having feelings for more than one person is highly frowned upon, unfortunately. But like, if you also are crushing on this person back, like this, your partner feels it, and just know that it's normal. Know that it's like, it happens to everyone. But just, if you do love this person the way that they love you, just to be like reassuring to them, and to be faithful and loyal, and to just reciprocate all the love that they give you. You know, it doesn't mean you don't have to like stop being friends with this person, because this person wants you in their life regardless of what that means and what the title is, you know, like regardless, they want to be supportive and there for you. Just don't take it personally if like this person like has to like doesn't like want to meet this person, you know, like don't take it personally if like they can't be in the same room together, because they both recognize who they are to you, and they both recognize that they're in competition when it comes to your attention and your love and your care. But just know that this person is very respectful and supportive of this relationship and doesn't want to ruin it. Yeah. My last message to you is happiness is not a destination. It is a way of life. So we're going to end the reading here. I want to thank yourself, myself, your divine selves, and these divine higher selves and their 3D selves for coming in, because this was a lot of intensity and a lot of work, and this is a really big story in terms of your life and your relationships and what's going to unfold next. So I'm wishing you the best outcome of your highest timeline, and I'm wishing you so much love, peace, and joy, and that you can just relish in your beauty and just know you'll get through this. And that subconsciously you're already like doing it. So yeah. Take care, my beautiful soul. Again, wishing you all this peace and all this relief that you might need at this time. Thank you again. Love you. Hi, Pile 4. I hope you're doing well. Oh, sorry. That's just my little Tinkerbella. Wanted to make a appearance in your reading just very briefly. Super cute. She usually doesn't like being in readings, so that's adorable. Today we are going to look at the question, what do they think of you? And before we get into it, I'm just going to do a little rundown of the video today. So we're going to do an energy check-in as always, and then we're going to go into who this person is in your life, and then excuse me, we're going to go into how they act towards you, how they feel about you, and what they think of you, which is the question at hand. And last but not least, we're going to do what their higher self thinks of you, because not always does their 3D physical self ever show what they truly feel or want inside. So I just kind of wanted to dive deep into that. These readings have been long, so if you do have a drink, a tea, I have this little passion fruit and guava drink. But yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy, and we will get started on the reading. So let's start with your energy check-in. And you have the card Growing Beyond Guilt. Okay, anyways. Sorry. Okay, so you have the card Growing Beyond Guilt. And at the back, it says it couldn't have happened any other way. So, my dear friends, your energy right now is one where you are kind of looking at the situation at hand and reflecting quite heavily upon it. So you might be in a place where you are looking over past events and what has gone about and what you could have done differently, and the message for you for that is that it couldn't have happened any other way, and that's whatever happened for a reason. And if you might kind of feel like you're in your villain era because of that, but you don't really want to be. Like, there's just like a sense of speaking your truth and speaking honestly, but that may have hurt others in the process, or putting up your boundaries, but that might have upset someone. And again, like, it is their problem, not yours, if that has upset someone, because it is your life and you are learning to really grow beyond being a people pleaser, and you're growing beyond that guilt of having to be there for everyone all the time. So that is your energy right now. You're kind of in a place of reflection and a place of growth when it comes to understanding your part in the larger picture of the situation that you are dealing with. Again, the situation really feels like you being someone who put in your boundaries or spoke your truth. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, that's the thing. And you are just kind of coming to terms with that. You're kind of coming to terms that not everyone's gonna be happy with your decisions. You can't please everyone, kind of deal. So yeah, if that is you right now, then this is your reading. So we're gonna look at the person of choice in terms of like who is coming through in the reading really importantly at this time. So you have Sun in Libra, harmony, enjoy life with music, love, and romance. So this person may be a Libra Sun, and they may be your significant other. They also may be a family member, but it really feels more like a significant other. But someone who's like a bright light in your life and who does bring in an emotional stability and support, and who does bring in just a sense of security and peace when it comes to your life, which I think is interesting because later on, in terms of how they act towards you, you have the Five of Wands, and that's completely opposite. So it's interesting. This person naturally is someone who is who has Libra-esque tendencies. So they're probably a very good dresser. They probably really love music. They like going out. They love hanging out with their friends. They really take relationships seriously, and they really put it at the forefront of their life. So that is who this person is in terms of what do they think of you. So if you have anyone, it really does feel like it's either a family member or a romantic connection. Yeah. Because I keep being shown like an image of my own brother, because my brother's a Sun in Libra. And so that's why I'm saying it's also going to be a family member for some of you. But for the majority, it does feel like more of a romantic connection because I'm being pulled to the rose. But yeah, again, this person is very fashionable. They are very diplomatic. They are someone who is good with being a mediator in things, and they really do enjoy music, and they put their relationships at the forefront. Okay. So in terms of how they act towards you, again, you have the Five of Wands, and that is notoriously a card of fighting, of disagreements, of people just not getting along. And I'm being drawn to the feet especially. So like it feels like when they are disagreeing with you, there's an element of trying to ground things and change things into a different perspective. I'm also being pulled to this person who's just kind of like shouting and like heralding their own like wand and using it kind of like using it kind of like a call. It's so funny because you just got called. But yeah, so when this person is communicating with you, they are like kind of calling to action a lot of things. They are trying to ground you when it comes to the connection as well. So in terms of how they act towards you, it could be like kind of like a play fighty energy. It's not just about conflict, you know, like that's the original card and its meaning, but it feels kind of more like they are doing more banter. They're doing more of a like poking fun at you. They're doing more of a but it might get on your nerves. That's the thing. Like they might like poke fun at you and they're not trying to make you feel bad, but it's more like it does kind of irk you and it's like, why are you commenting on that? Excuse me, kind of deal. So yeah. That's how it feels when it comes to how they act towards you. Like they're very, on the surface, it's very much like a teasing, bantery, like playful pokes at each other. Like that's how it feels. But in terms of how they feel when it comes to you, they see you as the Nine of Pentacles. So they see you as someone who's very abundant, who's very in their own energy, who's very regal, who can really get whatever they want. Someone who has everything they want and who's materially secured and successful. In terms of how they feel towards you, they have a good positive, like, they think of you very fondly. They think of you as someone who's able to achieve anything they want to, as well as just someone who can kind of be a little bit above them, if I'm not gonna lie, because I'm being pulled to the trees quite heavily, and it feels kind of like you see things from the higher perspective and you do see things from a more broad perspective. And in terms of how you look at the world, it is a little bit more broader than what this person does. Like they recognize the fact that you are someone who is very attuned to themselves and who has a good footing when it comes to any situation at hand. And so like it feels like they put you on a higher pedestal. Like they see you as someone who is just able to achieve anything they want to achieve. And who's able to like materialize and who's able to, manifest anything that they really want to manifest. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Oh, actually, I guess not. And also in terms of how they feel about you is that you might move slower than the average person, because we have the Pentacles, and I'm also being drawn to the cute little snail in this card. So you really think things through. You move slowly, but it's for a good reason. Like it's to be able to see like a bigger picture in things. So again, they think of you very fondly, and although they might not act that way all the time, they might like joke around with you or make fun of you or tease you and stuff. They do really think of you fondly, and it kind of feels like they're only doing that because they feel a bit insecure in themselves, because they are usually the ones who are the diplomatic person. They're usually the ones who are the harmonious person, and it's like kind of like challenging when it comes to you because they feel threatened by your ability to be so aware and your ability to be so grand in your perspective of things. Like, yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to what do they think of you? And you have the Two of Wands. So when it comes to their thoughts of you, they think about the past a lot. And they also think about their own actions, and they think about what they said and how that affected them and your world and the relationship you both had together, and how it caused marks and how it caused memories that are not easily forgotten. So when they think of you, they do think a bit back towards the past and what could have gone better. So they're really mirroring you in that aspect in terms of when they think about you. Like, maybe they should have been someone who listened to your boundaries and not made you feel bad about them. Or they could have been nicer in terms of how they treated you. Like, you might have asked something simple that they were supposed to do, and they just took it as nagging, and then they took it as like a jab towards their own personal like identity, and then they might have treated you like shit afterwards. Hence why like there's this Five of Wands here, and they think back towards that time, and they think back and how like foolish they were being, and how hot-headed they were being, and how they were acting very like emotionally erratic. Okay, we're gonna actually get a few more cards when it comes to what they think about you, because I think that would be nice. It'd be nice to just kind of dive deep into that. So for my pile number 4s, what do they think about my pile number 4s? What does this person think? Okay, so they also think of you as the Ten of Cups. So if this is a romantic connection, they see a future with you, and they see how you guys can really build a stable family together and really build a life together with a good home and be good parents. And they also think about how they can really have this successful home life with you and be their inner child self. Like, they can really let go, and they can really let their emotions flow and feel grounded and secure and stable when it comes to their connection with you. And those are for romantic connections. When it comes to connections that are more familial based, then when they think about you, they think about all the happy times that you've had when it comes to the family relationship, and how you were there to really support the family, and how you gave emotional stability and strength to the family, and how you really made the family a unit, and you really cultivated a home within that family, and how you were able to, again, emotionally secure everybody in that family so that they felt safe and loved, and you were able to make the bad times into rainbows. So you're able to make the bad times and see it for what it is and get through and past it, so that there was a rainbow on the other side, and that everyone had a greater understanding and perspective of each other, and everyone had a better stronger relationship because of it. Okay, so what else does this person think? So I have death in reverse. Okay. They think back to how the ending of this relationship was. Like, it feels like this person isn't in great communications with you anymore, and if they're like your significant other, like, it feels that there has been a change when it comes to like the good times with you. Like, it feels like there's like a more guarded aspect, and that it's a little harder to access you fully. Yeah, it feels like you no longer are someone who like is comfortable being your inner child with them. So it feels like you've turned inwards quite a bit, and you've taken the opportunity to just kind of like protect your energy and protect yourself, and not have your tower is broken. So you don't want to make a kerfuffle. You don't want to make things any worse than what it is. And that goes same with the family. Like, if this is a family connection, then it feels like you've cut ties with your family, and you are happy just kind of being by yourself and being distant and being away from them. And I totally feel and understand that, because sometimes when this energy especially comes up, when it comes to family, it's not something you want to be in all the time. And I understand, a lot of people understand that families fight, but like there's like a certain point when it just gets too much, and it gets like I don't want to be fighting all the time. Why can't we just be happy? Why can't we just enjoy ourselves? And why can't we just be the 10 of cups and be emotionally stable and like just prosper in the ways in which we can be grateful for one another and be grateful for the time we have together. So I can understand why you pulled your energy away, and sometimes it can make you feel guilty, but you're really recognizing the fact that you're not the one at fault. You're not the one to blame. You're not one to like have to feel bad over protecting yourself and protecting your energy and pulling away and cutting off ties. Like, it feels like that is the best scenario in this dynamic when it comes to your family. And again, if this is not about your family, then that means just like there feels like there's been a kind of a halt when it comes to the romantic connection. If this is about a romantic connection, then it feels more like there's a bit of a wall when it comes to you and the connection now. There's just like a rest period in this connection as well. If this is a romantic connection, then there's just this applies to both the romantic and the familial connection. It just feels like there's just like this halt, this rest period for you and your energy, and you don't really want to like engage with this person, because they again kind of ruffle your feathers and they kind of make a big deal and like poke fun, and like they're not trying to be mean for sure, but like they come across very very aggressive, and it's not something that you want all the time, you know? Like, it's just a lot of conflict for no reason, and you're really just someone who's just trying to avoid that or not engage with that kind of behavior. And kudos to you for doing that, because that takes a lot of work and that takes a lot of guts. So like, honestly, like the mantra of it couldn't have happened any other way is something that's very significant for you, because it really couldn't have. There, like, when it comes to how you feel about this connection, it's that like you did the right thing, and you are growing beyond the guilt of, oh, but that's your partner, oh, but that's your mom, but that's your dad, oh, but that's your brother. like, oh, but that's your family member. Like, you know, like it just feels like you're growing beyond those social norms, and you're growing beyond the fact that you don't want to like have to be that way. You don't want to have to like engage with behavior that's no longer serving you, that makes you feel down, that makes you feel like you have to be in this like survival conflict kind of energy, like this energy that's really, that's just not how you like to roll, you know. It's just a lot. It's a lot. You rather just be chilling. You rather just be like peacefully making your way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and you're homebound, you know, like you're just someone who's a lot more chill than all this like nonsense, and you don't really like the drama. So good for you for putting your boundaries and stepping away from this connection. So let's move on in terms of what their higher self thinks of you. And you have first breath, beginner's mind. So when it comes to their higher self, they really are proud of you. They really see how much you've grown as a person and how you're taking the first steps to be your own person, and you're taking the first steps into owning your own energy and not allowing others to really wreak havoc on it. And there's such a newness and a openness when it comes to seeing you in a new light. That's how their higher self really thinks of you. They see you in a new light, and they see the fact that you're a lot stronger than what their 3D self does, and you're a lot you're a lot more yourself, and you're a lot more able to kind of step into this new, more authentic version of you, where you can be who you are without being held back by disconnection. It feels like their higher self thinks you're really keeping yourself in tune and in check with what you have going on, and they're really proud that you have been able to keep your peace. Yeah. Okay, this was actually a lot shorter than I thought it'd be. I'm not gonna lie. So sorry for my intro saying it'd be long, but I guess it is like a little longer than some of my videos. But after I edit this is probably not going to be. It's probably gonna be at the same time. But anyways, yeah, I hope this helped. I hope that you continue to do you, and you continue to recognize that the boundaries that you set and the separation that has occurred, or the distancing that you have had with this connection, is for your highest good and for your best timeline, and that you shouldn't feel guilty over speaking up and saying what you needed to say, or putting in the boundaries you needed to put, because the way they treated you was not healthy. It was not safe. It was not conducive into really honoring your wonderful and glorious self, and they should have appreciated you when they had the chance to be with you. So yeah. Okay. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this resonated, and that it gave you clarity and peace of mind when it came to this connection. Take care as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And hello, my lovely pile fives. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being here for this reading. So today's reading is gonna go over the question, what do they think of me? And this is going to be about the person who's on your mind, or the person who's just showing up in your energy fields quite heavily that wants to relay messages. So we're first going to do an energy check-in in terms of if this is your pile or not. Then we're going to do who this person is in your life. And then we're going to do how they act towards you, how they feel about you, and then the main question of what they think of you. After that, we're going to see how their higher self thinks of you, and that's how we'll close the reading. So, take a seat, or, just enjoy yourself. I'm not sure if this is going to be long or not, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's do an energy check-in for you. And you have the card Embracing Worthiness. In the back of the card it says, I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. So it really feels like you're stepping into a self-love and a time period of really recognizing who you are and feeling so just basking in your own glory and being able to really tune into your higher heart chakra when it comes to just giving yourself the love you deserve. And it really feels like you're taking care of your body as well. You're making sure that you have the right food, the right diet. You are getting enough exercise, you're getting enough sleep, and you're doing all the things that you enjoy again. And you're allowing yourself to really step into the hobbies and activities that you love. And you're just giving time to really love yourself again and be attuned to yourself again. And I think that's so great. Like, I'm really happy for you, because this feels like a space where you can just be yourself unapologetically, and you have just so much love for yourself that you don't really care what other people think about you. You're probably just here for fun, to be honest. You're probably just here because something caught your eye, or like there's just like an energy of, oh, like, might as well just do this for fun, So you don't really care about what people think of you. It's just more of an energy of self-love. And I'm so sorry that I'm pausing. I really hope you don't hear my washer in the background, because that shit's really loud. Yeah. Anyway, so if that sounds like you, if you're stepping into a time of self-love and self-acceptance and being able to, it feels like a spiritual awakening when it comes to just connecting back to yourself and really taking care of yourself again, then this is your reading. Okay. So let's look at who this person is and who's thinking about you. So you have Sun in Pisces, higher purpose. Align yourself with love and wisdom. So this person may be a Pisces. Yeah, they might be born in Pisces season. If not, they exhibit the traits of a Pisces. So they may do a lot of yoga. They may, because this person is in like yoga year, they may meditate. They may take care of themselves and their body, and they may be a little bit daydreamy. They may be someone who you admire quite a bit, and it feels kind of like they are someone who has really helped you when it comes to being an inspiration for you to embrace your own worthiness. They feel kind of like a mirror to you in that aspect, that they are also in this spiritual awakening of taking care of themselves and really giving themselves the energy and love that they deserve. And it comes from a place of wisdom. It comes from a place of past experiences allowing them to understand and recognize how important it is to take care of yourself and how important it is to love yourself. And that, you know, we all have a limited time on earth, and we might as well just make the most of it and take care of our lives. So this person really feels like they are someone who you find that is a very big inspiration for you, and who really like shows you and motivates you and builds your confidence when it comes to yourself. So this kind of feels like a best friend. This feels like an influencer, or this feels like someone you know. That's, it doesn't really feel like a romantic connection or like a like a familial connection. This feels more like a friendship, to be honest. It feels like someone you'd grab brunch with, someone you'd go to yoga class with, someone you see around a lot and you just find inspiration from them. So it's just someone that you admire quite a bit, someone who gives you a lot of inspiration when it comes to you being who you are. And yeah, excuse me, yeah, there you go, that's just the burps usually just confirm to me whether or not the messages are resonant. But yeah, that's how it feels. That it feels like this person is just someone that you admire quite a bit and has a big influence on your life. Okay, so how did they act towards you? You have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so for the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, there's a couple of messages coming through. I didn't want to say this at first, but like this is just kind of what popped into my mind in terms of what I should be saying. In terms of how they act towards you, sometimes they may act like they don't know who you are, and that's kind of like a weird like message to come through. And it's not supposed to be like they're trying to be like, oh, like I'm cooler than you. No, it's more of the fact that they might not actually know who you are. If this is someone like an influencer online that you follow, or this is just someone you see at your yoga class and you haven't said hi to or anything, this, in terms of how they act towards you, it's just like they don't actually have a strong connection to you, or they haven't had an introduction with you in order for them to come through in the reading to be like, oh, this is how they act, you know? It's, yeah, that's how it kind of feels like. So for some of you, or the majority of you, this person just how they act towards you doesn't really apply because there's not a strong enough relationship, or this might be a parasocial relationship. So like they act towards you in the way where they can, like, they make content, and they make content for themselves, but they also make content for their fans, and they love you in that way for being a fan or for being a supporter or being a follower to them. And they're so happy to give their time and energy for that, like, you know, but they might not necessarily know who you are personally. So that's what's coming through for some of you. And for other people, if this is someone that you're actually close to and you actually know, then this person is a little bit envious of you. They're a little bit jealous of you. They might act like I'm being shown one of my friends who is like this. So they might copy you sometimes, and I think it's funny because you guys mirror each other quite a bit, but they also find you very inspirational and very motivational, but like they take it in a way where it's like, oh, like oh, like she's better than me. Like they take it more competitively, and or like he's better than me or they're better than me, and they take it a little bit more competitively because they kind of just want the accolades, and they might act as if like they don't get me wrong, they're probably very nice people. Like they act really sweet, and they're really like they are someone who can be really kind and really helpful, but like it feels like there's an undertone of like jealousy and of, oh, like I'm gonna copy this person because like I find them really like inspirational, but I want to just copy them. I don't want to like do my own thing. So it's different. Like you see them and you are very inspired by them, but like you take that inspiration and make it your own. Whereas they will like take that inspiration and like copy it without any like true substance to it. Like say like, okay, I'm getting an example. Say you want a tattoo and you wanted to put it in a specific place, and this friend of yours came with you to get this tattoo. They would also get a tattoo and have that tattoo put on the same exact place that you wanted it to. And like it's funny because like the reason that you put your tattoo on that place was for a significant reason. There was like a message behind the tattoo, whereas your friend, they just got the tattoo because they thought it looked cool. They got the tattoo because like there was no real like purpose other than wanting to copy you. And that's how it really feels when it comes to this person, if you know them in real life. Okay. Yeah. So that's how they act. So there's two scenarios here. Let's move on to how they feel about you. And you have the Hanged Man. So again, I'm getting two things. So if this is an influencer, then it doesn't really apply. They don't know really what to feel about you other than this sense of gratefulness when it comes to your loyalty and your support. If this is an influencer or someone that you don't know personally, they are just kind of like pretty neutral in terms of who you are because they don't know you personally. They have nothing bad, nothing good to say. It's just kind of like this neutral like position that that they play. Again, they're very grateful and support and like they really do value your support that you give them, but they don't know you personally, so it's really hard for them to come through in the reading in terms of how they feel. Yeah, okay. And if this is someone that you actually know in real life, then this person also, like, they don't really know what to feel about you, to be honest. Like, it's not like it's bad or not like it's good. It's kind of like it's in the middle. Like, they're just like, they just have really neutral feelings when it comes to you. And with this neutrality, it comes with, like, they see you as someone that is wise, who has good discernment, who has good intuition, who has a good spiritual nature about themselves. And how they feel about you is that, like, you have a good head on your shoulders. And you have a good stability about yourself where you can really, like, be your authentic self and be who you are and really shine from that. And, like, you don't necessarily have to be you don't have to be following the trends. You don't really care about that. You're just very authentic. And it's a very neutral position in terms of how they feel about you. But, they do think of you as someone who is very much their own and who's very authentic and who really is, like, they have that respect about it, you know? They have a respect towards you when it comes for you being yourself and owning who you are as a person. Okay, so in terms of what they think of you, you have the 5 of Pentacles upright. So when it comes to thoughts about you, they are a little, how do I put this nicely? They see themselves on a high horse, and so they kind of like look down on others, and that's including you. So they're like a little bit like, when they think about you, they kind of like pity you in that sense, or they like, they try to like make themselves feel better by putting you down when they think of you. You know, like they can't afford to think of you highly, because then that means they have to think of themselves lowly, and they don't have an authentic self, so it's hard for them to really see you and think of you in a good light when it comes to that. Yeah, so they might think of you, again, they might think of you like kind of lowly, like they might think that you don't have, like, you're not making enough, or that like you're not as materially successful as them, or like your life isn't as like perfect as it seems. And it's, again, this is such a weird message, because they only think that way because like they don't feel good in themselves, so they kind of have to think of you as someone who's a little bit like lower than them. And it really gives me like, it really gives me pick me girl energies, you know, like it's really giving the energy of, oh, like, I'm not like the other girls, I'm better than them because I follow misogynistic habits, and I follow all these societal norms that have been validated towards me, because I'm the best and I'm right and everyone else is wrong. And you know, and it's because they don't have like a real self-esteem or self-worth tied to them. And yeah, so like they don't think too highly of you, but that's only because they come from such a place of hurt, and they come from a place of such insecurities. All right, so we're gonna pull a few more cards in terms of what they think of you. What does pile 5's person think of them? What does pile 5's person think of them? Thank you. Yeah, it's the Queen of Cups in reverse. So yeah, they see you as emotionally manipulative. They see you as someone who's like performative. They see you so, again, and this is not who you really are. Like, they think of you this way only because they don't have good self-esteem. They don't have good like self-worth. So they kind of like don't know what authenticity truly is, and they have a very warped and negative viewpoint of life. So yeah, but in terms of what they feel towards you, it's pretty neutral, you know, like. And again, if this is someone that's an influencer, then that means like, if you're a supporter, then they also kind of think of you as someone who's like a bit down on their luck, a bit like, they don't know the authentic you, so they don't really have a good position in terms of what they think of you. Like, yeah, like, it's not like they don't appreciate the support. They really do, but like, there's this kind of like this high horse that this person has when they think about like themselves and how they compare themselves to others. Yeah. I guess we're gonna put one last card because this is a weird energy to be in. Yeah, and they all want to like spill out. So just one card about what this person, thank you. And you have the King of Wands upright. So again, this kind of just aligns with the fact that like if this is a person that you do know in real life, then they do see you as someone who is very regal and very like, and like, but like, okay. But this is diving into like territories of once they flesh back and pull back their egoic energies, they like when they do think of you, they do know that you have a good strong stance of who you are as a person, and they do think that you are very passionate and very creative, and you have a regality about you that you can just really be yourself and own yourself and like be happy with who you are. But that's only if you get down deeper in terms of like when it comes to their thoughts of you, like when they finally truly admit to themselves that like they have insecurities and they have their own shit that they're dealing with, then they can finally see you in this like light of, oh yeah, this person is actually really cool, this person is really nice, this person is really like fun to be around, and like you know, like they would want you as a friend if only their own ego and insecurities couldn't like affect that, you know? They just kind of need some healing if this is someone you know in real life. And if this is someone that you don't know in real life, then again, they do really appreciate the support and the motivation you give them if they're like an influencer or a creator or just someone that you don't really like talk to. Like say this is someone like that you go to yoga class with, like they do appreciate being in your energy, and they really do appreciate like you showing up, you know? So let's move on to the higher self and what the higher self thinks of you. You have jeweled web connectivity. So at first, if this is a relationship regarding a more parasocial relationship, someone that doesn't like know you but you know them through their content, then they recognize the connectivity and they recognize the ways in which you are a part of their lives, you know? Especially they do just recognize this as a parasocial relationship. I'm getting when like Dan Howell, if you know who Dan Howell is, how he like makes fun and pokes like jokes about the awareness of these parasocial relationships. So there's that, like there's a give back that this higher self really does think when it comes to you and comes to like wanting to keep the parasocial relationship alive and reciprocal. And you know, they like there's a sense of having appreciation and gratitude towards being connected in that online sense. This is someone you see like infrequently and you don't know them, but you just see them around. They also just like appreciate, their higher self also appreciates you like showing up. And this really feels like a higher self kind of card. When this came out, it feels like it was supposed to be here when it comes to like how they think about you, because it feels more like how their higher self thinks about you. Like they appreciate you showing up, they appreciate you being your authentic self, and they appreciate like how you shine and how you are able to come into your own, and they witness your growth even though they haven't said anything to you, or you might not like know who they are. Like they recognize how how strong you've become. Even though, like, you guys don't really, like, they just sense that in your energy when it comes to their higher self thinking about you. And if this is someone you do know, their higher self, again, is very, like, they recognize the connection and how it is very illuminating to their 3D self. Like, this connection really highlights the insecurities and the egoic nature that every human does play and how it is affecting this person. And in real life, there's just like this sense of they're grateful for the connection, but it's kind of like there's like, even if you do know them in real life, it feels more like there's like a distance, you know, like that's what their higher self thinks of you. And again, like, this reading is a lot more different than I thought it'd turn out to be, because at first I thought this might be like a best friend or a friend, but it really felt as the reading went on that this person is just someone that's either a parasocial relationship, someone that you don't know in real life, or if this is a friend, it's someone that you're not that close to. That there's like this sense of like distance or like space between you. Like, you might be more acquaintance than friends kind of deal. But yeah, I do want to focus on you and how you're coming up as someone who is just really glowing up and really being yourself and embracing all of who you are, regardless of what other people think. And like, this reading is just to confirm to you that you're going to ruffle some feathers because of how glorious you are and because of how authentic you are. Some people are going to like see that and be cockroaches to your light. You know, cockroaches don't survive in the light. They will scatter away and scamper because they can't appreciate how much beauty and joy you bring to the table. And that means there's nothing wrong with you. It really just means that you're showing them all the ways in which they can improve on in terms of being a human being and being emotionally more mature, you know? Yeah. So keep doing you. Keep being your amazing, beautiful self. Keep practicing and taking care of yourself, and just know that these people are, I'm glad that they're at a distance, you know? And if this is like an influencer, then like, again, a lot of this reading doesn't apply too much other than the fact that they do appreciate your support and they appreciate the fact that you watch their content. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to end it there, my lovely pile fives. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening whenever you're watching this. I hope this helped and like this gave you just kind of confirmation about someone in your life, or at least kind of give you entertainment in terms of this parasocial relationship that you have with this person, or like gave you more of a sense of understanding if this is someone that you know in real life that you don't really talk to. So yeah. I hope you have a wonderful day. Just remember that you are so amazing and grateful and beautiful, and a lot of people can't take that because of their own insecurities, but that shouldn't ever stop you from being you. So keep taking care of yourself, keep being your lovely self, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile sixes. I hope you're doing well. So today's reading, we are going and diving deep into the question, what do they think of me? And how this reading is going to go is that we're first going to get your energy and what you're going through at the moment, and then we're going to get to this person who's in your energy field, And then we're going to look at how they act towards you, how they feel about you, and then what they think of you. And this is all from the 3D perspective. This is more of like the physical realm, and this is more of like the day-to-day, like egoic self kind of. Last but not least, we're going to do what their higher self thinks of you. And yeah, because I thought it'd be fun to just see the contrasts. Oh, right. Okay. So your first card in terms of our energy check-in is processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. So you might be going through a time of processing grief. You might be going through a time of either someone you know who is close to you has passed on into another life, or you might be processing grief when it comes to your old self. And this is just a reminder that when you're processing this grief is that the losses only showed you how deeply you loved and how much you cared for others and how much you can care for others. And it's never easy to go through loss, whether that be personal loss of an identity or of a person or of an animal. It's a heavy energy to be in, and everyone goes through their stages of healing, and sometimes it might never feel like there's a healing aspect or that there can be a healing aspect. And just know that it's okay to feel, and it's okay to grieve, and it's okay to mourn, and it's okay to be in that energy of heaviness and loss. And it's okay to cry, it's okay to stay in bed, and it's okay to take care of yourself in ways in which you need to at this time, you know? Yeah. You might be someone who's using mushrooms as medication, and I don't mean just psilocybin. I mean like things like ashwagandha or reishi or like lion's mane, you know? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be a psychedelic. It can also be like just a naturopath kind of mushroom when it comes to you processing and dealing with this grief. And just know that it's okay. Like, do what you gotta do. Do it responsibly, obviously. But yeah, your energy is just something of heaviness, and for a good reason, because processing grief isn't easy. You know, it takes time, and I'm sending you so much love, my dear, and I'm hoping that you have a good support system within yourself and with others so that you can go through this and get through this and come out like the way you need to. And know that whoever you have lost, whether that be yourself, a loved one, or yourself or a loved one, then just know that they're always with you, that you'll have chances to reconnect to them, whether that be in your dreams or through mediums or through card readings or through just random people on the street who kind of remind you of them. Like, they show up in mysterious and interesting ways, and that their energy is never going to leave you. It'll always be with you. Yeah. Okay. So who this person is, when it comes to who is in your energy field, you have Sun in Sagittarius. Adventure. Stride out into new territory. So this person may be Sagittarius. They may like to identify as that. They are just someone who's very adventurous, who likes to travel. I'm also picking up they might be in the astral realm, so this might be the person that you've lost, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, that's how it really does feel. It does feel like this person is in the astral realm and they are just enjoying their life and their soul in that place. And yeah. So if you are processing grief and want to know about who you've just lost, they've come into the reading. And they've come in to let you know that they're okay, that they're safe, that they're just exploring this new side of their soul and what's beyond this earthly realm, and that they're just in a new adventure. So when it comes to how they act towards you, you have the 10 of Wands. So there's a sense of hardship, and there's a sense of wanting to really reconnect with you and having a hard time moving through the planes to find you. So I have a friend who has had a lot of people in her life that have passed on, and what she's told me about the afterlife is that sometimes it's hard for people to reconnect and find their way back to you. Like, sometimes it's hard for them to travel within that astral realm and come back into your energy field. And part of my job as a tarot reader is to be the medium and to be a bridge to the other side. And they want you to know that they've had a hard time accessing you or finding you throughout the mess that is the astral realm, that is connecting back into the earthly plane, because it's such a new territory for them, because it's such a wide array of souls in that area. They've had a hard time coming back home to you, and they've been working their ass off trying to get messages to you and trying to like find you. And just know that they will always be with you and will always want to be with you to see your growth and your evolution. And they feel really bad about how long it's taken to get back to you, but just know they've worked really hard in their afterlife in order to get to you. So that's how they act towards you right now. They've been just really trying to connect back to you. Okay. How they feel about you. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So I'm hearing you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy in skies of gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. And I'm getting really emotional. Like, I'm getting super emotional. So they have a really heavy heart when it comes to you. They hate seeing you so upset. They hate seeing you be in a spot of grieving about them. They just feel so much empathy and compassion towards you, and they have a hard time seeing you downtrodden because of this, and they really just want to see you happy, and they want to see you live the life that you're meant to live and be your spiritual badass self and be the sunshine in people's lives. And they want to see you bloom and develop, and they want you to be your authentic royal self and be back in your own energy and space again. But they recognize and understand that it's hard, and they just feel really emotional when it comes to how they feel about you, because it hurts them to see you in such pain, and it hurts them to see you be so upset. They recognize why, but like they just know that they want to be there with you, and that they want to tap in with you, and they want to help you process this, and they want to see you continue to live your best life and be passionate again, and be creative again, and be spontaneous and enjoy life again. Okay. What do they think of you? You have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So it feels like there is a lack of impulsivity and spontaneity that used to be a part of your life, and there's like a halt in spiritual development, because I guess not like a halt, but like there is like a part of you that has just kind of set aside your spiritual nature because it's too hard to tap into right now. And yeah, it feels like when they think of you, they think of their past life with you, and they think of all the past lives you've had with this person or this animal. Yeah. But they're really reminiscing on the past and all the fun times that you've had together, and all the adventures that you've went on. I'm seeing like car trips. I'm seeing like listening to music, like records, like showing each other music, like someone in the living room, like showing each other music that way. And like I feel like music was just like something that really connected both of you. And when they think about you, they just think about how strong and how youthful and joyful you are, and how they want to see the fire back in your life, and they want to see you be able to conquer whatever you want to conquer in life. And they just want to be your steed and help you ride through life, knowing that you're never alone. You're never truly alone. That they will always be with you. It's just a matter of tuning in and connecting back to this person or this animal. And if you're on this reading right now, it means that you have got a connection with them, and that the connection never left. It's just, again, it's just been a really hard time for them to like come through in a way in which it's like recognizable for you to know that this is this person. And when it comes to like transversing the astral realm, it's really hard because a lot of people on earth don't believe in it, or they will like, they're doubting toms, or like there's just like this sense of like, sorry, just one second. Hey, Pal 6, sorry about that. Just so where we left off in terms of how they think of you, they recognize where you're at when it comes to processing grief, and they recognize that you might not be in the best place right now, but they do still think very highly of you, and they miss you a lot, and they miss connecting with you and being in that energy field. So what else does pile 6's person think of them? Temperance in reverse. So there's just a lot of going inwards and a lot of processing that they recognize, and when they think of you, they still do think of you being such a light in their life, and when they think of you, they recognize the spiritual evolution and growth that you're going into right now, and how right now you are trying to balance out your emotional states and being in the 3D realm and being within reality. But they are heavily protecting you at this time and heavily keeping you safe when it comes to processing. And when it comes to survival especially, so you might be going through a lot of existential dread. They want to know that you are safe and that you're healthy, and that death is a part of life. I heard the movie Puss in Boots might be good for you to process this. Anything else that pile 6's person wants to tell pile 6 in terms of what they think of them? So you have Ace of Swords in reverse. A lot of reversals. So yeah, it just feels like there's a lot of going inwards. A lot of like that, it's better. A lot of time for you to just really do a lot of communication when it comes to yourself and being able to get clarity when it comes to yourself. And it feels like this, weirdly enough, is a time for you to spiritually evolve, in the sense of getting to really know how your thoughts work and where the communication comes from when it comes to your thoughts, and how it's not always going to be you who's communicating to yourself, that sometimes they will try to come through thought forms. Like, say you want to listen to this song that you missed like for a long time, or that you just like haven't listened to for a while, and like once you listen to that song, that it brings back and resonates with you in terms of this person, and it really reminds you of this person. So yeah. And in terms of what their higher self thinks of you, they have stranger curiosity. So their higher self, again, it feels like this is new terrain for them. So connecting with you in this way is it's very different. It's very new. It's very there's a sense of magic when it comes to connecting with the other side and connecting with the different realms that operate in the world. And there's just like this curiosity to see you evolve and see you grow into a new person and see you just flourish in your life. And it feels interesting because it feels like they're watching from the sidelines and they're watching you just grow into a new human being. And sometimes it just kind of feels foreign to them, their higher self especially, because it feels like there's a disconnect between you shutting off your spiritual side, like just for now as you process. It feels like you're like kind of taking a step back when it comes to that, and it's given their higher self an opportunity to get to know you on a new level and to get to really understand how to find you and connect with you and communicate with you on different planes and different ways in which you can understand that it's them. And they're really trying hard and they're really working hard so that you get the messages through and that you can recognize that they're with you. Okay. I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for your lovely energy, my beautiful pile number 6s. I hope this brought you clarity, a sense of peace, and a sense of connection to this person. And I'm sending you all my love and support at this time. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.